The gamer chick Fumble. Celeste swore she was being obvious. She'd been dropping hints about Jeremy for a week, laughing extra hard at his jokes, finding reasons to text him late at night, asking what he was doing this weekend in that specific tone that meant I want to be part of those plans. Now she was literally on the phone with him, driving to his house, trying to sound cute without sounding desperate. I kind of want to play video games, she said, letting the words drip like honey. Jeremy perked up instantly. Oh, my boy Greg just got the new system last night at the midnight release. You should go over there. He lives like 15 minutes from you by bus. She stared at the windshield, gripping the steering wheel a little tighter. Are you sure that's where I should go? Yeah, he's got everything. Brand new graphics, new controller smell, all that. He bought a few new games too. That racing one you mentioned liking, I think. He was so genuinely enthusiastic, like a kid recommending his favorite restaurant. It would have been sweet if it wasn't so devastating. She sighed dramatically, giving him one more chance. Isn't there anywhere closer I could play video games at? Jeremy didn't catch a single breadcrumb. Not really. My system is like 10 years old. The disc tray sticks. I'm bored with it anyway. I've beaten everything twice. He started listing games like he was reading off a grocery receipt, completely missing the silence on her end that was growing heavier by the second. Meanwhile, she was already turning onto his street. Well, she said, her voice suddenly sharper, I'm already on my way to your place. I'll be pulling up in less than 5. A long pause. Oh, bro, I mean, you could play here, but like I said, it'd be better there. She could practically hear him shrugging through the phone. She parked in front of his house, took a breath, checked her lip gloss in the mirror, and stepped out. She leaned against her car like a movie scene, one hand on her hip, phone to her ear, and purred. Come outside, Jeremy. He hung up and came out 30 seconds later wearing basketball shorts and a faded tournament t-shirt from high school, holding a weathered game case. Not flowers, not a smile that suggested he understood what was happening. A game case. He opened it like it was evidence in a trial. See? Look at these scratches. I'm telling you, Greg's setup is way better. I'll probably go over there later to play too. I just gotta finish some chores first. Chores? She repeated, staring at him like he'd grown a second head. She tilted her head, voice soft and deliberate now. You sure you don't want me to stay here instead? Jeremy smiled, sweet, wholesome, and devastatingly oblivious. Nah, I'll meet you there in like an hour, maybe 2. We can all hang. He closed the game case and reached for her phone. Here, I'll put in his address so you can get there safely, and I'll text you his apartment number. It's kind of confusing which building it is. She looked at him like she was seeing him for the first time and losing interest in real time. Slowly, reluctantly, she handed him her phone. He tapped away happily, tongue slightly out in concentration until the GPS was set and directing her away from him. She didn't take the phone back right away. I've seen Greg, 3 times? We all hung out after that movie at the mall. It was cool, but I don't really know him, not like I know you. She reached out to touch his hand, a last-ditch effort, fingertips grazing his wrist, and he dropped the game case. He bent down immediately to pick it up, completely missing the moment. He's safe. Promise. Super chill guy. I'll call him before you get there so it's not awkward or anything. And like I said, I'll be there in about an hour. An hour? She echoed, her voice flat now, defeated. He nodded reassuringly, then, because why stop there, added Greg's number to her contacts so she could call him herself if she got lost. For sure, he said, smiling softly, completely unaware of the massacre he had just committed. He was quietly geeking out at the idea of his 2 friends becoming friends. Maybe they'd all start gaming together regularly. That'd be dope. Jeremy didn't notice the disbelief frozen on Celeste's face as she got back in her car. He didn't notice her sitting there for a full 10 seconds, staring at the steering wheel, before finally putting the car in drive. He waved as she pulled away. She drove off toward Greg's house. Jeremy smiled to himself while putting the game case away, while doing dishes, while folding laundry, while vacuuming the living room, because if people were coming over later, he should probably tidy up. He only remembered to call Greg when Greg called him. Brother Celeste is here, Greg whispered, his voice tight and confused. Yeah, I told her you had the latest system. I'll be over in like an hour, maybe less. Just gotta finish up. A pause. What? Greg laughed, but it sounded nervous. You don't mind, do you? She really wanted to play. Greg turned slowly to look at Celeste. She was on his couch, legs crossed, checking her phone, one foot bouncing, nervous energy radiating off her in waves. They'd all graduated together. She'd almost gotten kicked out of school for fighting a rival cheerleader in the parking lot and winning. That was 6 years ago, and she still had the same fit, formidable energy. Hair perfect, nails done, smelling like vanilla and something expensive. His good friend had gift-wrapped Barbie the bounty hunter and sent her to his house looking hungry, tense, and a little annoyed. God bless him. Nope. No problem at all, Greg said carefully. Unless you have a problem with it. Nope, Jeremy said, grabbing a towel to hop in the shower. Why would I? It's your place. I'll see you soon. Greg looked back at Celeste. She'd put her phone down and was now looking at the stack of games he'd bought last night, a small smile forming as she picked one up. Barbie the bounty hunter was a gamer too. Yep. So, thanks, man. Take your time coming over. No rush at all. She already picked the game we're starting with. He paused. See you. Later. Way later. Cool, bro. Thanks. Jeremy hung up and sang in the shower. 1.5 years later. And that, Jeremy said to the wedding party, grinning like an idiot, is how my best friend and Celeste got together. I'm basically Cupid. Thanks, bro! Greg shouted across the room, kissing Celeste's hand as the crowd erupted in laughter and cheers. Someone yelled, You really set that one up? Jeremy raised his glass, playing along, even as something uncomfortable twisted in his chest. They danced their first dance, slow, intimate, Greg whispering something in her ear that made her laugh, and Jeremy looked away. He swallowed the dull ache of stupidity thudding against his ribs and reached for his phone, pretending to check a text that didn't exist. A woman in a yellow dress sat down beside him, gently stopping his hand mid-scroll. Hey, I'm Teresa, a friend of Celeste. She smiled warmly, eyes kind and a little mischievous. I play video games too. Jeremy blinked, looked at her, looked at the dance floor, back at her. Do you want to dance? Yes, she said, laughing. But maybe this time, don't send me to someone else's house first.